to pick it up because the last Wonder Woman movie was fucking incredible.
This
I will
one looks
probably,
really good.
I would say I will probably see it at some point, maybe not right away. Just because digital, I don't feel like paying a lot of the prices that they want you to pay for digital.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Well, you
saying I'm
mean
going to pirate it.
$30 for Milan is not good enough.
Uh-uh.
I don't think it's. I feel like it's not super expensive.
This may not be. I haven't looked into it, but just a lot of the pricing that I've seen lately for like, digital release, because we can't go to theaters and everyone's like, oh, yeah, here's 30, 40, $50. And it's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially since I can buy the actual movie when it comes out to Blu-ray or 4K or whatever for way less than that.
It's included within HBO Max.
Oh, okay, that's not bad then.
I don't have HBO, so
Maybe if you had a trial, it'll come
You
with
can
that.
get a 7-day free trial.
Boom.
it's not worth the hassle.
There you go. I
Very
don't know. That
lazy.
looks cool.
But yeah, it looks good. I will
Question.
watch it at some point.
Have you even seen the Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot?
I think you know the answer to that, Moon.
You're right. I do know the answer to that, and I want you to admit it to the patrons. Who
The answer is
hopefully listen
no.
to Critical Miss.
The answer is tune in to Critical Misses on season.
Yeah. Fuck, that's going to be a long season.
Where you go through the DC movie catalog.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
Included within that, by the way, is the original Batmans,
Mhm.
the original
nice.
Supermans,
Right.
the Nolan Batmans.
And Batman
And-
v Superman.
Well, we're waiting to see what the Snyder cut turns out to be, because that'll determine how we end that season. Do we watch the original? Do we watch a Snyder cut? Do we watch both if they're significantly different? Like, how much do we punish ourselves? Who knows?
If we watch the Snyder Cut, we punish ourselves the fucking all of the goddamn way, is what we do.
With commentary.
I love commentary on movies.
I do too. Like, some commentaries are bit like, I know it makes me laugh because when Shaun of the Dead came out, their aim was to have more extras and commentaries than Lord of the Rings, which set the gold standard for me.
Right.
Because even if you listen to the prop designers' commentary on Lord of the Rings, it's still a fascinating listen.
Oh yeah.
And then you just listen to like the hobbits all basically get drunk and have a laugh and just
Yep.
share horror stories. Like, all of the commentary tracks there are great, and it's the same with all of the Cornetto trilogy. Like, they're all great commentaries.
The Scott Pilgrim commentary, the technical commentary on that one is really good, because it's a lot of like, we used the last of the flashbulbs that exist in the world for this fight scene. Enjoy.
I go back and forth on commentary. Sometimes I like watching them, and I go back and forth on the style.
Yeah.
I like it when they actually talk about the movie and what, issues or, whatever they were doing, particularly for that scene or whatever.
Mhm.
I also like when you get the ones where they're just so completely off the wall, they're not even talking about the fucking movie,
Yeah.
or they're drunk or whatever.
John
those
Carpenter's
always-
The Thing, which
Oh yeah.
has whatever that guy's name is. Can't remember his name now. What's the guy's name? The main guy in The Thing?
Shit.
I'm not the movie guy. You guys are.
We're not the movie guys. That's why we're doing critical misses.
Hold on. Escape from New York. I hate the fact that I can't remember this guy's name because he's in everything.
Kurt Russell.
That's the one. Thank you.
I just watched a Kurt Russell movie yesterday. Sadly, it was the sequel to his Santa movie, but it had Kurt Russell in it.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah,
Kids watch that
it's
too.
like the
Yeah.
Thing commentary is just Kurt Russell and John Carpenter getting drunk as fuck
Yeah.
and just watching the movie and having a laugh. Like, all you hear during the whole thing is just the tinkle of fucking of mixed
The ice.
drinks the whole time.
Oh man.
Well, my biggest issues though is that it never fails that whenever there's a certain scene that I want to hear about, they never talk about it. Or when they're all drunk as hell, they'll start to tell a story which is really interesting, and then somebody will get sidetracked, and then you never hear the end of that story.
So
Uh-huh.
the best DVD Blu-ray commentary I've ever watched, this has a lot of asterisks around it, is the one Kevin Smith did for Cop Out. Number one, I get it, Kevin Smith. Number 2, Cop Out is a bad movie. But it's like a 90-minute movie. He did a 4.5-hour commentary track on it, because what he'll do a lot is he'll pause the movie and it will zoom out, and he's standing there and the movie's in like a frame in the background, and he'll go to a special feature clip that's like, well, here's how we shot this cool action scene. We're going to pull this in, we're going to show it to you, and then I'm going to talk about it for a minute. Or like, this is a cool thing we did in the movie. I'm going to pause it and talk about it for longer than the runtime of this cool action thing. And then once I'm done, we'll get you back to the movie. And then, so it avoids a lot of that stuff where it's like, oh, this super cool thing, and it's over in 15 seconds. And like, oh, here's this other cool thing. We're out of here. We missed it. So, bad movie, but like a super, super cool idea.
Yeah, I adore that shit so fucking much.
All right. You guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yep.
Yep, sure, why not?
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Moonpeer.
Am I really joining you, or are we all just specks of cosmic existence?
Can't it be both?
True.
And the Nymph.
Whatever we are, I just wallowed in here.
Yeah, true.
Wallowed might be the best descriptor.
Yeah. Welcome to 2020. As I talked about last week, check the announcements channel on the Discord server. Discord server is available for everyone. The link is on the right-hand side of the page at tvgp.tv. We need more people to vote on the Game of the Year, and that'll be recorded in 2 weeks. So you got a little bit of time for that. And if you have any predictions, that helps out that episode a lot. We're recording that in a week on the 6th. So if you got predictions, you don't have to fill out all of them. None of the three of us have any of ours yet, so don't feel super badly. Nope. But if you can fill out, and you don't, even though a bunch of the fields are required, you don't have to fill out all of them. You can just put like NA in there if you don't want to fill out like, oh, I hate Nintendo, I'm not even gonna. You don't have to fill out everything, so please go do that if you got a little bit of time. If you don't, we get it. It's 2020. Mm-hmm. I feel it. I'm not ready either, and like I run the show supposedly.
Yeah,
but
using the term loosely.
Yeah. So go check out the announcements channel on the Discord server. It's the only 2 links up there for organizations' sake, and patreon.com/E1M1. The ones are numbers. Talk about it every week. Nothing's really changed. Get the cool behind-the-scenes early access audio, critical misses, the uncensored outcast that is exclusive to patrons, early access to We Roguelike It. $5 a month is the recommended one. It's just per month, not per episode. And you get the audio, help me pay for the show, which is a huge help, as we were talking about here in the Outcast this week. My job doesn't pay me as a stay-at-home dad. So
what?
I know, it's crazy. So any of your help directly goes towards paying for the show. You can see how much stuff costs on the Patreon page there. I'm very transparent about how much that stuff costs. And if you get to the $250 goal here, and that's not a goal for me, that's for sure, you then can watch me play scary games and cry. So if you want to see me fail in the future at playing Until Dawn, because my hands are too shaky because I'm crying, $250 a month. You can help out.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to start with something even scarier.
I know. Yeah, I know. All right. All that business stuff out of the way. Moon, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay, so this week we'll talk about, thank you, patrons, for your support, especially
yes, thank you.
This
Brought to you by viewers like you.
Yes, viewers, listeners, patrons of the arts, such as yourselves.
Patron of the arts, like TVGP.
Yes. Dude, come on. Are video games art? Yes. Is podcast about video games art? Maybe.
By the transversive property, yes.
Okay, that's fine. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
If we have to go turtles all the way down with this, that's fine with me.
That's right.
We'll go turtles all the way down.
Right.
So yeah, I started with Space Engineers. because why not load up a last generation game which had potential issues on the new generation of hardware?
Oh no, did it?
Well, it was okay on the Xbox One X. It was just, complicated and had its issues here and there. It wasn't bad. It wasn't broken or anything, but,
it's a big game.
It's a big game. And also my wife wanted to learn how to play it.
Oh.
You're missing a word there. The word you're missing is no. So it should be, no.
Oh, no. I feel badly for her. She doesn't... I feel like she knows what she's getting into as much as we do, but it's a cautionary tale.
Yes. However, so number one, it works great on the Series X, and I can play with my wife who has a One X, and it runs absolutely fine, so that's great.
That's the dream.
Can't wait till myself and Rob jump back into our world on both Series X's and see if we can actually take off and make it to space this time.
Yeah.
We'll see. Bright side, Crusader Kings got its hooks into my wife, so she's not focused on Space Engineers right now because she's got a much more complicated game to play herself.
I like that the paradox bug bit her. Stellaris is available on Game Pass on the Xbox One X and Series X.
She's aware.
Yeah.
She has seen everybody tweet about it, and there's a reason she tends not to play 4X games. Crusader Kings was hilarious because she almost broke down in tears laughing because she had 20 children within 2 years at one point.
Oh, God. Yeah. Crusader Kings.
That was hilarious. I was like, this is your reaction if you ever have one kid in real life, let alone 20 in a video game.
Right.
This is your reaction.
You're having a real Sims 4 baby challenge going on here.
But no, yeah, we fiddled around in Space Engineers a little bit. It loads so quick, dude. I was like, load, done.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
We'll talk about fast traveling in a large game here in a little bit. That's sort of like, usually I'm just like, all right, let's doom scroll while I'm, oh, nope, it's available. Okay.
Yeah, again, I think Chuck on Twitter, from friends of the show, No Quarter /Bamfcast, said it. Like, we literally do not have enough time to check Twitter and get depressed anymore. Right. Like, even if the games aren't the greatest, thank you for this new console.
This $500 has helped my mental health so much.
Dude, you have no idea.
Yeah.
But yes, Space Engineer seems to run good, and now that I've loaded it back up again, now it's got that itch at the back of my skull, where it's just like, all you got to do is get to an asteroid and get yourself some green stuff that I can't remember the name of. Uranium. There we go.
And now it loads so much faster, you could just hop right in and start farming. No big deal.
Exactly. It'll be fine.
Just get on in there. Okay. You got half an hour.
So yeah, Space Engineers is probably going to be a problem again soon, which I apologize for in advance. Blah, blah, blah. Space Engineers is great. Apex Legends.
Oh yeah, we played some of that this week.
Again.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Which I completely forgot about until I looked at my console companion to write down my games. I was like, oh yeah, I played Apex with Boston again this week.
Man, again, a super smooth experience for crossplay. I was on my PS5 this time. Last time we played was PS4, and it's super. So that means your wife was on her Xbox One X, and you were on your Series X. So we're across 3 different platforms, just absolutely no problems.
Yeah. Like,
it's
worked
great.
Absolutely fine. I was playing with my wife, and like literally we were like, okay, let's play some Apex, and I just sent you the text and was like, hey Boston, you want to play, some Apex? And you're like, cool, be there in a minute.
Yep.
Like, jumped in, loaded in, got you in the game. You joined in while we were in the middle of a game, so we didn't even have to invite you or anything.
Yeah, it was great. And I learned 2 new things about the PS5 controller. One is if you hit the mute button to mute the controller. You hit the mute button on the controller, it not only mutes the built-in microphone, but it mutes your microphone that you have plugged in as well. And if you hold the mute button, it mutes the audio coming out of your TV. So if you're like, if you have like audio that's too loud coming through your TV and you're playing or something, or like, for me, if there's a sequence in a game that we're going to talk about here shortly that you don't want your child to hear, just hold that button.
I'm guessing that sequence is probably in my last game, which is a group game. So
probably, yeah.
We'll get to there when we get there, I guess. So yeah, I played a little bit more Apex, continuing the slow roll season pass, or as I like to call it, the try not to panic until there's 10 days left kind of season pass. Keep calm and season pass on, whatever the meaning of choice you want.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's Apex. It's fine. It's fun. I really like the new map a lot. I still haven't played
very
as the
good.
new. Yeah, I still haven't played as the new hero yet. I think I've got like 5 more champion ones in me. I'm like silver 4 in ranked, which I'm doing solo queuing with randos because my squad abandoned me. So I don't know how I got to silver 3 by
How dare
myself. Well, they've got better friends who are on better time schedules than I am, so I can't really complain too much.
Excuses.
Well, dude, you tell me, would you wait for 3 hours for me to get home before playing Apex?
I mean, maybe.
But
I'm not good, so I need some carrying.
That's true. Okay, would you wait for me for 3 hours and not play Destiny while you were waiting for me to get home?
Probably not, no. I'm the guy in Apex that's like, what's this gun? And I'm like pointing it at myself, and I was like, no, wait a minute.
It's got lasers.
Right, no!
Yes. Okay, so Apex, Space Engineers, Tetris Effect Connected. I saw credits on Tetris Effect Connected, which means they can now be eligible for my Game of the Year 2020.
So you finished the journey mode?
Yes.
Okay. What'd you think?
That's real weird. Real good, but
yes.
Real weird.
It's an experience. Like, it's very few games.
It's a journey.
Heyo. It's a cool thing. Like, it's one of those things where you don't expect a Tetris game to affect you at any level. And you get to that. Man, I walked right into that one. But like that last level is like, yeah, man, like you can. Yeah, number one, the Res guy definitely made this, but like you turn Tetris into like a cool thing other than here's this static screen and you're building the blocks. Yeah, you got a Tetris. Like it's a cool thing.
Not even to mention, not once did I hear the Tetris music.
Right.
Not once in the entire journey mode did I hear the classic tune of Tetris. It was all unique music, all unique like styles associated with the levels and the visuals that was going on at the time. Like the background story, which is distracting me from making Tetrises, which is both great and terrible at the same time. Right. There's a lot going on in that game. It's really, really fun to play.
Yeah.
Not sure how I feel about those last 2 levels though, where it's just like, oh, you started speed 19, have fun with that.
It's very hard. It's not impossible, but if you're gonna the game, feel like the game does such a good job of building to that point. But if you're like me and you're like, all right, I played like 4 levels, I'm going to come back later. And you're like, oh yeah, what's this next set of levels? And they're already at 19. It's like, please no. Not like this.
Like, it feels like you have to play them really close back to back.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're just not going to be prepared going into it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Tetris Effect uses speed tree.
Yes, it does. Giant Bomb favorite speed tree.
Yes, which made me laugh when that showed up in the credits, like while there is trees in the background. I was like, really, Tetris Effect, you used speed tree to create these neon acid trip trees that I'm seeing?
Yep. Did you play any of the other modes? Like the community stuff?
No.
Okay.
Because unfortunately I've been too busy focused on a different game, which we'll get to next. Because I have 4 this week.
Okay. I can just rate the last one here. Cross it off my list.
So, I mean, Tetris Effect is a genuinely fantastic game. Also part of Game Pass, by the way, folks. So go and get your quote-unquote for free. I
gotta fire up the Game Pass app while I'm talking about this.
Yes. It's great. Like you said, it's definitely a case of, oh, hey, this looks a lot like Res. Oh, hey, of course it looks like a lot like Res because look who the main credited developer on it is.
Yeah, it's like, this was definitely made by the Res guy. Yep.
Like, and it shows. Like, you can tell. but then I don't think they do that very first song, which is the same song that plays over the credits. The Everything Is Connected.
Yeah.
I know, terrible to pun for the game. Well, that song is a banger, and I don't like that type of music. And that song is a banger, and
It's very good.
They do not use it enough. Like
No.
there should be like a 4-minute level with just that song.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if you want to, the first level you can do 4 minutes on that song, but who wants to do that when there's high scores to break?
I think some of the other stuff you can do, you can say like, I want to play this mode on just this level. So I think you can do kind of like a traditional Tetris experience and say, I want this theme, I want this song. So you can kind of go do that. If I remember.
I would really love, and who knows, it might be in the game, it might not be, for them to have a thing where you clear 1,000 lines and it does like a res version of like the rocket taking off.
Oh, right.
The original Game Boy version.
Right.
Like as a little ode to the original, but
yeah, the original Game Boy skin is it's in the PS4 version. I'm assuming it's in this one too. But I don't remember if they do the rocket taking off or not. I'd have to see.
It would be great.
Yeah.
But do it in res style. Like,
yeah.
You know what would be great? Res, and then every time you complete an area, you got a Tetris effect journey. And then
Right.
area 2, and then area 2, and so on and so forth, and then
That'd
throw
be
in a
great.
giant space whale.
That's your hacking minigame is just Tetris?
Mm-hmm. That would be really cool.
Yep.
Tell me it wouldn't be.
It's all coming together.
No, Tetris Effect Connected, there's a reason why everybody talked about it in 2018.
Mhm.
Number one, because not a lot of great games came out that year, but also number two, because this is a genuinely great version of Tetris.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to dipping my toe into the multiplayer / co-op, seeing how that goes.
Yeah.
Also, I have to get to play level 100, which gives me 90 levels to go.
Yeah. Well, thankfully the like community stuff that they have on there that like isn't, I think they carried it over from the PS4 version and the VR version, where it's kind of like they have weekly challenges and they have a bunch of additional modes you can do. Like some of the puzzle modes are really cool. So I think there's a lot of variety over there to kind of help you make that journey over to 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good game, and it was on Game Pass, and I've got 2 weeks to beat 3 games now left to
No big
try
deal.
and make it to the end of my year. So that's
Super tiny
fun.
games, right? Like 5 to 8 hour games.
Yeah, 5 to 8 hour games, like my final game of the week, which is Yakuza Like a Dragon. Ha! I fooled you. I'm just kidding. It's actually AC Valhalla. So let's talk about AC Valhalla.
I played so much of this week.
Do you have an hour count?
Okay, so
Do you have a best guess hour count?
No.
Because you have children and you pause it.
yeah, I have an exact hour count. The PS5 displays that now. But like you're saying, a lot of it is just looking at Eivor on the inventory screen or looking at the world map while I'm doing something else. It says 25 hours. I bet you can probably chop 5 to 10 off of that, which is still significant, but it's not 25 yet.
Okay. Nymph?
I'm about 25 hours.
Okay.
Okay. This game is not open on my system unless I'm playing it.
Okay.
I'm at 47 hours.
Yeah. I can see how that happens pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My problem is I keep wandering around.
That's my problem too.
I'm in the middle of getting all the Borgia towers in England, so yes. Also same.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Like I think I've cleared out 4 or 5 zones in England now.
Yep.
There's 1 or 2 I can't do because they are level 360 enemies, and
Yeah.
if you know them, you know them because you run into them. You're like, oh, I'll do this, and then got one-shotted.
Yeah. I keep getting distracted by whenever the controller starts pulsing and there's one of those cursed items around, it's like, I'll just stop here and I'll shoot it. I just did I don't know if you guys have done the Cavern of Trials.
I haven't. I
Okay.
don't think so.
I won't
I
spoil
may
that
have-
then. I just did that.
Wait. 4 keys?
Yes, that guy.
Yeah, okay. I've done it.
Yeah. I did my first Riddler challenge area. It was Seahenge, which was kind of a fun
Yep.
one. It was like, what is this thing of rocks out in the middle of nowhere? And it's like, all right, man, line this stuff up. It's like, okay, all right, yep, this does it for me. I like that. I think I have, I can't say conquered. I think I have made treaties with 5 areas in England.
Okay, so you are clearly not exploring anywhere near as much as I am.
Yeah, I'm exploring a lot, but a lot of if I if I go to a city and I do like the Odin's site, whatever the pulse is, where you hold the right stick in. If I see a flight, I go do that because the charisma options for conversation are very good.
And some of the flight stuff's pretty funny.
Yeah, flight.
Yes, there's one in London which is hilariously good.
Is that the one where the woman wants you to be nice to her?
Yes,
that's the one I just did, where it's like this is really good. But for me, a lot of it is like I'm going to spend a lot of time exploring. I'm going to do. I kind of like some of the environmental puzzles where it's like, here's one of the gold armor icons on the map. So there's going to be an equipment piece here, which I don't need for reasons I'll get to here in a minute.
because you're so ridiculously overpowered that the combat is a breeze.
No, it's because I was on Prime Gaming to get the monthly Destiny exotic drop, and they're like, here's an armor set for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And I was like, hey, I'm playing that right now. Let's look at this. It is stupid overpowered. So I'm just like, as long as you're kind of near the area, near like the level of the enemies, you're going to do pretty okay.
In all honesty, you don't even need that.
No, I think that's one of my frustrations in this game is like, it feels like gear mattered a lot more in Origins, like especially, and Odyssey maybe a little bit less, but in this it doesn't seem. You can upgrade it, you can put runes in it and stuff, but it kind of doesn't seem to matter. Early game, it doesn't seem to matter that much.
Well, it doesn't help that a lot of the rooms you get early game are like, bump this up by 2.1% or whatever. It's
like it feels like all of the power in this comes from the skill tree because each of those little nodes is like, oh, you do +1 stealth damage, and at this point I've unlocked like 40 of them, so I'm doing like plus 40 stealth damage. So it's like there isn't anything that I can't assassinate at this point.
Right.
There's very few things that I cannot one-shot with the bow in this game.
Yeah, I actually really like the it's not a quick time event, the little thing that comes up, that closing circle when you're trying to assassinate.
Challenge.
Yeah, I think that's kind of cool because it's not. In the previous games, it would be, well, you're going to take off this much health, but they have this much health left, so good luck. It's just like, well, you can do it as long as you've unlocked the skill, and then you just have to make sure you get the timing right. I think that's a much better system.
Yeah, but you are right. Like the gear feels like it doesn't matter at all, and all of the gear I am interested in using is the Raven-based stuff. Which, for those of you who don't know, when you're looking at the gear screen, it's the symbol at the top. It will have a symbol at the top which decides which set of gear it's interested in.
It's the symbol shares the same color as the skill tree too.
Like yellow, red, or blue.
Yep.
Can you guys see the unlockable skills on every single point, or is that just
the big skills? Yeah.
Okay. So have you completely filled out one of the colors?
No, because I'm kind of. I had a couple of upgrades that I was really pushing towards. One of them is auto loot, which to me is like as soon as I can get that in any of these games, I'm going to get it. The other one is break fall, I think it's called. The one where you have to,
at the end of a jump.
Yeah, like you really have to fall from something very, very high to sort of take fall damage. And I'm
hoping at some point they replace that with Cassandra's ability, where she was just like, I don't care how big it is, I'm going to jump off it, and I'm going to land and do a ground pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, yeah, that was so good. But after that, it was just sort of like, well, let's kind of see things that sound interesting, like the chain assassinations, which turns out is way stronger than it has been in previous games. The tree I've filled out the most is stealth. Because a lot of that there is very strong.
I did mostly bow stuff.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy creating a pile of corpses to lead other corpses to.
Bows feel really strong in this. Like both the amount of damage they do and the distance you can do that damage from, even with just the regular bow, feels really good.
Yeah. And honestly, there are some really sick like bow abilities, of all of the special abilities they get. There's some of them that are really cool. My yellow is completely filled out, filled out. There isn't a dot on that side that I haven't filled out. I'm doing the blue now because melee is usually my last thing that I do.
Yeah.
At some point, though, I can now see the major skills, which I wasn't able to do before.
Me too.
Maybe that's a patch thing. I'm not too sure. Maybe it's spend a certain amount of points.
Yeah, because we just got that big patch 1.0.4 this week that fixed a lot of the screen tearing stuff, improved a lot of performance on the current gen consoles, which performance was good already. And I'm on PS5. I know Moon's over on Series X. Performance was good already. Now on PS5 we have a performance or resolution mode selector. We didn't have that before. But largely my screen tearing is gone. And it's still 60 frames, still looks great.
I haven't really noticed it at all. I have been going a little bit crazy with the screenshots with this game.
It's such a good looking game. God.
If you follow me on Twitter, you will see those screenshots. I do love the fact that I put the controller down, which you may have noticed there's a screenshot on my feed of Avio with Sunan on her shoulder, which is an idle animation.
Yeah.
So that will allow you to take photos with Sunan included in them, just so you're aware, folks.
Yep.
Really good. But the game looks great. I wish I could talk about what I'm up to, because I think like you, Boston, I think I've done maybe 5 or 6 alliances. I've hit 3 possible romance options at this point.
I've hit 1, and the dude that wanted to get with me was not great. So I said, no, thank you.
Was he one of the Reeves?
He was...
no, you're talking about Ivar.
Well, I don't remember what his name was. He was during the wedding scene. At the end of that alliance, one of the guys was like, "Hey, lady," and it's like, "No, thank you."
Big scar down his face, or was it his brother?
God, I don't remember. So, let's talk about my problems with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I don't care about the story. I have only met one character I like, and that's Soma. Everyone else I kind of despise, especially that dude in depending on which one you choose, the first or the second area you go to, that has that half of his head is shaved and he's got a really scarred face and he's just
that's
terrible.
That
guy sucks. Jesus. I didn't like any of that stuff because he's
so obnoxious.
He's really bad. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you're not wrong. There is I feel like there's a lot of throwaway characters in this. To me, the order don't matter in the slightest.
So
I had 3 cutscenes with these people. And it's just I have not met you. I don't care about you. There is no story in you. So don't care.
This is my favorite part of the game, and I was telling my wife about this because she loves the Assassin's Creed games. I love that as soon as those 2 dudes in the first 30 minutes, the first 2 order dudes jump off the boat, and you're like, those are assassins. And the game is very much I met these friends in the Middle East. They're interesting. They have a secret order. I'm like, they're assassins. And Eivor keeps being like, so what, you want me to join your crew? And I'm just like, yeah, man, let's do it. And they're like, no, we're good. See you later. They're just like, what? What? The game is so disinterested in... Normally it's we're going to teach you how to do the leap of faith. We're going to give you the hidden blade. Now you need to join. And they're like, no, we're good. We got enough peeps. We got their own stuff to do. See ya.
I really liked when they gave Eivor the blade.
Yep.
Like she puts
it
on
on
wrong,
backwards.
and they call her out on it, and she's like, "Well, I don't want to make the same mistake you idiot did."
Yep, and then it shows the ring finger.
I actually really enjoy too when you get to build in your village. You get to build a building for the Assassin's Creed order.
Yes.
And it literally looks like a bar from Red Dead Redemption with a wooden sign with the Assassin's Creed logo right on it.
Yep.
It's like you guys aren't even trying right now.
Yeah,
You know
you
what
guys
my
are
favorite
bad
thing
at this.
about that is if you look at every single building in your village, they are all wood colored, except for that one. It's green, and they painted it to blend in with the forest. It's like, dude, it's a building.
Yeah, it's just I think that the city building stuff so far has been pretty good. I like that it's encouraging you to go out and do the raids, which I think are largely pretty good. I've been trying to mix it up with the raids where it's like, all right, this one I'm going to park the boat and I'm just going to go sneaky assassinate everybody and then call it in when I got to break into a church. And this one we're just going to do an out and out, drag out fight.
As Nib says, go loud.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go loud on this one, and
it's the only way I do raids.
Yeah, I mean both of them feel good. It's not like, oh well, I had a really hard time because I brought the whole party and we just stormed this this church. It doesn't feel like the game is encouraging you to do one over the other, which I think is pretty nice.
I will say with the raids, I've had an issue on 2 separate raids where when you get to a reinforced door, you have to call in somebody else with you who's in your raid party to break down the door. I've had it happen twice. Yeah, where nothing happens, and my character is just running into this door, and then I have to disengage and find another door.
That's one of the things that
they're hitting it, and
that's one of the things they patched this week. Was like,
I was say I haven't played it since the patch came out.
Yeah, I think there's like 75, 85 bug fixes in this patch, like along with the performance improvements. Like it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, cool, you fixed literally everything that was wrong that I'm having with the game. There's still, they said there's still a couple of quests that are, there's still a couple of quests, like minor quests that aren't really fixed. But
because with all the rating that I've done, I've only had it happen twice, but it is annoying when it happens.
Yeah.
Which my sincerest apologies to Slicknick, community member, who had a very seriously large quest bug on him.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
Which I cannot talk about for spoiler reasons.
Yeah.
So, generally speaking, I'm really enjoying this game. Like you said, Boston, the tertiary characters I'm not really caring about. There's like 5 people I actually care about. One is Soma. Soma is great.
Soma's great. Yep.
I love Randvi.
Yes,
she's great. Roll the R's when you talk about her. I did like Alfred, the young king who you do the wedding with.
Yep, I thought he was great.
I thought he was good. I like the hunter partnership who live at your home base. Those 2 are fantastic.
Yep, they're great.
The mission variety is pretty solid. Like there's a lot of different stuff going on. You might have actually had this mission already, Boston, but there was a mission involving Ivar and his brother, which, spoiler alert, if you haven't had this mission, Ivar and his brother come back again, just so you're aware.
Oh, the White Stag mission?
No, the White Stag was the hunting mission. That is fantastic. I adore that mission.
That's a really good mission. It's one of those ones where it's like, yes, I will go hunting with you. I don't understand what we're doing. And then 10 minutes later, you gain a new temporary superpower. And it's just like, what? But no, I did a mission and it's really hard to describe without talking about it, but let's just say it felt a little bit too fast, too Vikinger because of the way this mission setup was. And I was just like, okay, I'm just going to smile and nod at everything that's happening here. Have you run into the Keith from The Prodigy?
No, not yet. I don't think so.
I ran into him.
I heard he. Does it look like him? Because if it looks like him, then I will know. Okay, then no, I haven't run into him.
Okay, you'll notice because he also is playing a drum and says "Smack my bishop," and this is an omen, and we are not tourists. And it's like, yeah, this is really good.
Did you see the baseball guy yet?
I don't know if I've run across that guy.
There's a baseball guy in there too. And
the world quests are very good.
They are probably some of the best things in the game. Like the mainline missions are fine or whatever. It does feel like it's taking itself very, very seriously, which maybe that's why Cassandra was so good, was because even when it was serious, she wasn't serious. The only time she was super serious was when like someone was dead. That's
right.
Cassandra
someone's trying to kill her. So I think that's so far. I think that's my biggest problem with Valhalla. I'm having a lot of fun with it because I think moment-to-moment gameplay feels really solid. Now that I have the controls down, I really like the combat. I'm using a shield and a one-handed axe because the getting the timing right on the blocking with the shield and parrying and like turning the enemy's weapon on themselves with the stun attack feels really good every time you do it. But it's hard following Origins, where Bayek was an incredible character you felt an affection for nearly immediately.
Yep.
It's tough following Odyssey because Cassandra is one of the best characters in the entire franchise's history, and it's one of the best Assassin's Creed games in my estimation. So the deck is sort of stacked against Valhalla already, and I think Valhalla is really good, but the core conceit of the game, which is for sort of political reasons, we have split off from our Viking brethren. We're now finding a new spot here in England, and we're gonna try and make friends, make alliances, sort of expand our reach here a little bit. As of so far, I kind of don't care about that. I think it's well told. I think it's interesting. I like that you can pick which one of the regions you want to go to, so it's not this distinctly linear thing. But I'm waiting for the game to get to the point where all of it kind of comes together, and you're like, oh, I've been doing all of that because this big story moment happens or this big thing happens, and now I start feeling better about playing as this character, doing this stuff, sort of playing this story.
Yeah.
So,
have you hit that point?
No.
Okay.
One of the things that myself and you, Boston, adore about the Assassin's Creed series is the extracurricular BS that they put in around the side.
Yeah.
We love that stuff. Me and you personally.
The modern day stuff?
Yeah. Yep. Modern day stuff and also the other stuff on top of the modern day stuff. Like, here's a ghostly apparition of Athena from Odyssey or whatever.
Right.
It's just like, okay, Athena's a god, and this god is also one of these ancient people who we've been discovering about throughout the entire
There was
sequence.
that time traveling mission in Syndicate where it's like, I'm playing when now?
Mm-hmm. So we love that kind of stuff. There is a potential, without revealing anything, that stuff is looping into the main game in this game. I do not want to say anything else.
It's a little teaser for me specifically.
When you meet Falke, there will be hints, and this is a female character called Falke.
Okay.
When you meet her, you will start to receive hints about where this story might be going.
Gotcha.
I know that because I unlocked another landmass. A fifth landmass.
Woof.
Full records. By the way.
Okay.
This is really playing havoc with my OCD stuff.
Yeah.
Playing havoc look at my map, everything that I have unlocked right now is bare.
Oh,
I have no icons or anything.
I go to an area, clear out all the icons I can. Can't get access to this one. That's probably a mission that's related to this zone.
Right.
Oh, look, I come back to the zone and do the missions, and look, there you go. Now I'm in that area that I couldn't access.
Right.
There's a lot going on in this game, and it looks like there may be looping bigger things into the smaller stories.
Oh, good.
And it's interesting. It has the potential to go one of two ways. It's either going to go full-on Assassin's Creed 2, I think it was, where at the end the
game is talking to you. The player, right,
through Desmond. It's either going to go that way, where we're all just like, "What? Please answer this now," and then you have to wait 4 more years for 2 more games where they don't even broach that subject anymore.
Right.
Or it's going to go the opposite direction, where it's going to give you too much information, which I think Syndicate might have done that at the end with like the stealth mission and the ESU control within the database.
Yeah. Some of the future Google stuff was like, you're showing me a little too much.
Yeah, it could go one of two ways, and I'm very interested. Nimp, I'm assuming you nodded knowingly when I mentioned a 5th landmass, which makes me think that you 100% have that landmass too.
No, I don't have it yet, but a buddy of mine made mention of it because they were also playing it, and they just let it slip without thinking. I'm like, great, one more thing.
Yeah,
I do have to say, I am really enjoying this game. It feels like a given because I've enjoyed all of the other ones except for 3. And this series is for me, so it's sort of like, yeah, of course I'm enjoying Valhalla. I really, if you haven't, this is not the game you start with if you haven't played Origins and Odyssey. So many people are like, I'm starting with Valhalla. I haven't played since 2 or 3. What's going on? It's like, start with Origins, blow through that. Yeah, blow through Origins, blow through Odyssey. Don't do 100% of the stuff. Like, go play both of those are very, very good. If you're still feeling it, go play Valhalla. But like, the moment they tell you, like, after you get pulled out of the Animus for the first time, and they're like, here's the modern state of the world, and it's like, oh, right. There's sort of a lot of stuff happening here. I had to laugh because I'm like walking around that cabin in the modern day stuff, and I see you can interact with the computer, and I beeline over there, and it shows me the OS, and I was just like, yes, this is my stuff. Reading all the emails, I'm listening to like 15-minute long audio logs, I'm looking through the trash for secret stuff. I was like, man, this is my Assassin's Creed. Here we go. I got to go back 100%. And see more of that stuff.
And some of that lore stuff was pretty good too, because even I was going through that computer, I'm like, man, I don't care about this. And then like 15 pages later into one document, it's like, oh, okay, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's that is what made me go back and rewatch the endings to Odyssey.
Yes.
Where it's just like, please remind me what happened there, because it's been like 3 years since I played it, and I just want to tie up my loose ends before I continue. Fun fact: 47 hours in, haven't left the Animus again yet.
Yeah, I feel like they probably won't force you to do that again. Because, like,
I think there's at least 2 or 3. There's always at least 2 or 3. If they kick you out of the Animus, there's at least 2 or 3 every time.
I feel like they keep downplaying that stuff more and more. Like, I know you can leave the Animus. There's the whichever one of the D-pad buttons on the main menu will let you do that. But I feel like the fan base hates it so much when they have to do that stuff. They'll probably do it that point at the beginning and probably one time at the end, and that's probably it, which is a bummer.
Well, the simple fact is the fan base is wrong.
Yes, I agreed. Just irrefutably. But I'm enjoying Valhalla, but of course I will, and I think it's one of those that I keep seeing people on Twitter being like, I'm not really enjoying this, and it's like, then you need to stop playing, because there's way more of this game left, even if you don't do everything. Like, I haven't.
If this is not for you, don't play it.
I hit the crazy thing is, like, they bring back that order stuff where you're hunting down people and, like, finding clues and stuff. It doesn't start until power level 90. You start at 1. I just hit, like, 91 or 92, and I tried to attack the first guy, and I just got destroyed because I was stupid. Like, I haven't even... there's an entire option on the main menu that I don't have access to yet. And I'm like 20-something hours into the game. Like, that's either your jam, like it is for us, or just go play Origins.
And it's not that you start at power level 1 and you go up exponentially. It's that every little node on your skill tree equals 1 power level.
Every level up gives you
90 things that you have to unlock to get to that power level.
And my frustration continues with the experience and skill tree system in these games, where it feels like you don't get enough experience by doing stuff out in the world, which is sort of how it's designed. You get your experience by finishing story missions, finishing big missions, or finishing like world events and stuff, which normally you finish one of those, you get a level up and you get 2 skill points. Like, you do another one, you get a level up. So they're trying to meter that stuff out, but sometimes it's sort of like, I wish some of my exploring was counting for a little bit more.
You'll notice it'll start to add up really quickly, because I'm currently declared to a place that's power level 130, and my current power level is 179.
Okay.
So it adds up real quick. I think it's the old Assassin's Creed thing of there's more to do in that area that can ever be done. More to see. No, that's the Lion King. There's more to do there than is necessary to take you past that level.
Sure.
To complete the area. So if you go under-leveled into an area, you'll come out about right after doing the story missions, if that's all you do. Whereas if you do a little bit in pieces here and there of the cleanup, like, you'll find yourself being way overpowered way quickly. Like, I'm not kidding when I say I'm breezing through everybody. I'm not going into the level 230 places yet.
No, I am exploring plenty of those areas, and like, there's like a battle standard guy, and he looks at me, and the game is just like, you need to go. Don't worry, I'm leaving.
Before, like I said, there's a world event there, and one of the people in it is level 360, and I literally get one-shotted by looking in their direction. So I'm fine with not doing them right now. I'm fine with gaining my experience elsewhere. I don't know. I genuinely really am enjoying playing this game, though.
Yeah, me too.
Well, and I also find, too, that when you're doing a mission or a quest or whatever, there's usually 1 or 2 things that's along the way that's not that far off whatever path you're taking to get to that objective. So I've usually been knocking them out as I've been going somewhere else to do something else.
Or like, as you raid an area, it's like, oh, here's like 4 or 5 different like things you can interact with. Here's a piece of gear. Here's a scroll to read. All of that stuff gets you experience.
Or it's like, oh, I ended up on the other side of this island by accident. No, there's a tower. Well, I need to grab that for the fast travel, so I don't have to wander my way back over here. And
Right.
Yeah, I still think Sunan sucks. Like the Raven. The only good thing about that Raven is the fact that when you do the leap of faith, it goes caca.
Yeah, I don't use him much.
No, me neither.
How far have you guys flown that Raven out?
Pretty far.
Pretty far with it, and have not had it bring me back or anything. Like, I'm talking like I've flown to like a whole other island kind of thing. I
feel like the thing... I almost feel like they're trying to downplay it in this game, because in previous games it was, all right, you're near an area, you need to find a person, go up into the sky, find the person, and then come back down. This one's very much like, you're in this area, do that Odin sight thing, that person's over there. It's very much like, you don't need to use the Raven.
The Raven in this only gives you a big circle.
Right.
Like a huge circle to, that you can see.
But the objective in the upper left-hand corner of the screen changes when you're in the circle. So, like, I just run towards it, and it's just like, start Odin sighting. Yeah, it's kind of nice, and it's kind of a bummer, because using your bird was always a little bit annoying, but It's
And that's the thing I loved about Odyssey, though, was the more like synchronization points you got, the stronger the eagle became.
Yes,
in
that's
Odyssey.
right.
And then literally you would just hit up on the D-pad, it would go to that, and then it's just like red dots everywhere. It's like, okay,
Right.
I've spotted all of these enemies for you, and now you can see them through walls.
Yeah.
It's like, thank you.
I do like that skill in this one, though, where when you're crouched and you haven't been seen, it just automatically highlights all the enemies that you've seen. That's super helpful.
Oh, if you are a melee person in this game and you feel like you want to do something maybe a little bit different, the bottom of the melee on the very far left-hand side, spoiler alert, it lets you do one-handed, two-handed weapons.
I've seen that. Yeah,
So
I'm
you
moving
can
that way.
Dual-wield two-handed weapons.
Yeah, I would like to use a two-handed weapon in one hand because I have one that's really strong, but I don't want to get rid of my shield because I like how that gameplay plays.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I
yeah,
really
we're all
love my
enjoying it
bow.
because we just spent like half an hour talking about it.
Exactly.
That's all I got.
That's all I've been playing. Yep.
Okay. I have been playing, or one thing that I attempted to try to play, Star Citizen.
Oh no.
Community
No.
member Angel
Dude,
Eye.
come on. No, Angel Eye, why? Why?
No. This isn't his fault. So
It's Star Citizen's fault.
yeah, no, this is. So he just sends me a random message, just letting me know, hey, he's got some free time this week. Did I want to play? And it's like, yeah, let me get these updates done because it's been a month since I've even logged into it. Let me get it all updated and we'll be good to go. I get logged into this game finally after all the updates, and my computer cannot run this game anymore properly. And I sent him a message just saying, hey, I'm sorry, but whatever happened in this last like update or two, my computer can't run this any higher than like 10 frames per second.
Wow.
And he sends me back a message saying, no big deal. And he screenshots a text message he has with one of his friends where his friend is saying, my computer can't run this game at all.
Star Citizen.
Yeah, something has happened since the last time we all got together and played this, and it's just not working. So
fantastic. I like that the Star Citizen is taking the like opposite No Man's Sky, where No Man's Sky like keeps getting better and is like, whoops, now we're MMO. Whoops, now we got VR. Like, whoops, now we're great. And Star Citizen is just like, yeah, this is, oh no, we're losing. Oh god, now I can't run it anymore. Oh no.
Yeah, and I don't understand why. And this, they still have the issue where the lowest settings is more resource intensive than the high settings.
Why wouldn't it be?
It's just not optimized for anything. It's stupid. But anyway.
What an incredible trash fire.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Maybe one decade it'll be done.
Yeah. But then at that point, it's like, we'll already have the Odyssey update for Elite, and it's like, all right. Why bother?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at that point, we're all going to be robots anyway, so...
That's right.
I did play a little bit of Apex. I got that downloaded on my Xbox.
Nice.
And then people saw me logged into my Xbox, and then people saw me play one round of Apex, and I got like spammed with messages. So I played a couple of matches where I was all right. I can't figure out how to choose a character.
On like that's
serious.
When you're picking characters? I
swear to God, I am picking a character that I want to play as, and it keeps defaulting me to this shield guy. Which is fine, because I don't know how to play any of them anyway.
Did someone pick the character you wanted to play as?
I don't know.
Okay. It's got the stupid Destiny No Man's Sky menus, where it's the circle.
Yeah.
So when it's your turn at the bottom, like when your name is at the bottom and it's got that bar moving across.
Progress bar.
Yeah.
When it's on your thing, move your menu circle.
Your mouse cursor.
It sounds like I'm talking to you like a child. I don't intend this to be.
Oh, whatever.
Move your mouse
you
cursor.
need to right now, because I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
Move your mouse cursor to a person and you hit the A button to select them. Don't press B because that cancels their selection.
Yeah, and then their picture changes up top, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, your picture will change to that person, and that person will be on the left in big, and like
they'll say something.
So
Yeah.
I follow you all the way to that point. When I loaded into the match, I was not the character I selected, so I don't know what happened.
That's
weird.
weird.
But like I said, it's probably something I did or didn't do, or maybe someone else selected it before I got to them. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've only played this game like a couple times years ago. But yeah, first match went really well. I was 6 out of 20 with a squad who didn't want to play together at all, and they were the ones that kept dying, so that's why I had all the revives. The crap thing was that they kept taking all the ammo. So I had all the shield battery things. I had all of the first aid kits. No ammo whatsoever.
One gun with 2 bullets.
Well, no. My first kill in this match was beating somebody to death because I didn't even have a gun.
Right.
And then I finally get a pistol. I finally find some ammo. I take out a whole other team by myself because they're off doing God knows what. I meet back up with them. I get stuck in the circle because I forgot this game had a circle.
I like that you show up with these 2 people. You have like blood and guts all over you. You're like, what have you guys been doing?
Well, and so I get through. Like I just got done recharging my health and my shields. And all of a sudden I realize, oh, there's a circle here. And so I'm running with the circle to the last point.
Right.
I get out of that. I'm in a building. I'm recharging all of my stuff. And then I see the rest of my team goes down. And they're just like on the other side of this wall in this building that I'm in. So at this point, I still only have a pistol and 60 rounds of ammunition that I managed to find. And I bust through that door, guns blazing, take out 2 more teams. And 2 more teams show up and take me out.
Yep.
You are way better at this than I am.
I think, well, a lot of it was I don't think anyone expected me to be there, honestly. Because I literally came out, like, on a map, let's say my team that was down was on the north side. My building was center. I came out the door on the south side. Just basically kicked that in, saw everyone there, and just started lighting everyone up as they were looting,
screaming and shooting.
Yeah. So, I believe I only died because I ran out of ammo. I had nothing.
Right.
So,
right.
And I had no way to run up on anyone and start beating them to death. So, whatever.
Right.
It was fun.
If you keep getting the shield guy, by the way, just so you know, if you drop your dome shield and when you pick them up faster.
Oh, when you revive people?
Yeah.
Sure.
Interesting.
Because he instead of doing the whole animation, he just grabs them by the scruff of the neck and just yanks them to their feet.
They weren't worth the effort.
I watched them die.
Yeah. After that, my kids and I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. We are finally on the second to the last level of this game.
Nice.
My son grinded a ton in the gauntlets when the area that we were stuck in, the dimensional zone or whatever it was, it suggested that you have a party level of 25, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
We were all 30 and still getting our butts handed to us.
Mm.
No matter what we did, we could not do anything to this boss, the last boss of the area. So my son grinds out our main party to level 45.
Wow.
And we don't get killed, but it wasn't easy to still beat this boss, which is really stupid, considering that we were way higher level than it said we should be.
Right.
So, and he's doing the ISO grid thing or whatever, and he's leveling up all the abilities. So everyone is where they should be for this. I don't know what's going on with this game. It's got some weird difficulty issues. I'm guessing it's just scaling because there's 3 of us playing, which is stupid. But whatever. So we're finally on second to last mission. My son's been doing a lot of grinding. He's unlocked a lot of the DLC characters. He's unlocked a lot of extra costumes. He's really geeked out because he's got some Deadpool and Wolverine costume that he wants to show me, but he won't tell me what he unlocked. I'm like, all right, cool.
You have to see it, Dad.
Yeah, my daughter is still... I love my daughter dearly, but she is still mostly useless in this game. Where she will be jumping around, saying, I've got these guys. And I'm just like, you're not doing anything. You are jumping.
You're not near us.
Yeah, and she's like, but I don't want them to hit me. And it's like, but they're hitting all of us because they can't hit you.
We're dying, please.
The biggest screw job with that, though, was that in the last section that we were in, they had snipers in this, and those snipers were one-hit kills.
Oh, wow.
So we were getting dropped. Yeah, it's stupid. But anyway, so we're getting through it, and my kids are enjoying it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
So,
man.
Next game after that, played some more Genshin Impact. Not really a whole lot to talk about that. After that, well, I had Assassin's Creed on there, but we already spent forever on that. Cold Steel 4. Spent a lot of time playing that this week. I finally found the instructor, finally got him back. I've got all of my classmates back. I have like a roster of almost 30 characters now.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The feline familiar that is connected to one of the witches in your party has transformed into a Catwoman.
There it is.
So yeah, that's
JRPGs,
the branch of anime that we're going down now. So I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, no,
yep.
I guess why not?
Yep. Cat girls, yep, show up and checking a lot of boxes.
Everything else that's been going on so far.
Yep.
But yeah, so I finally have the instructor back. I finally have been doing the last area that I was in to get him back was literally a 2-hour-long boss fight.
Oh, geez.
Not one boss fight, and it wasn't difficult. It was just like Xenogears back to back to back to back to back boss fights.
Right.
Where I could not save.
And jeez.
That was kind of the biggest screw job. But in the middle of doing that, it actually kind of started to remind me of some of the Xenogears mech fights that you got to do.
And here's my friend. No. You
so
may have defeated me, but here's the Emperor. No.
There's so much testing of somebody's resolve in this game. It is unbelievable.
The power of friendship will carry me through this.
Yeah, friendship, love, whatever.
Yep.
The warm
classmate bonds. Yeah. Cat girls. Got it all.
God, I can't handle all the resolve talk. Like, I don't understand why that's such a big thing in this game all of a sudden.
Some of these franchises are just like, this will really test my mettle. It's a show of my resolve. It's just like, who are you yelling at?
Every time someone brings this up, it's like, dude, you just saw me blow up this underground base over here.
I just blew up a planet.
It's like, what do you need me to test?
I have guns.
I will kill the god in this game.
Right. The cat girl probably will. That's the secret ending.
Jesus. But now too, since I have so many characters, whenever someone says something, everyone's got to throw in their one-liner.
Oh God.
And it's like that's really not necessary. I don't need to hear 38 people say, "Okay, we support you. Let's go." It's
38
like, no,
people say, "And my axe." It's just like, yes, I get it. Everyone's with us. All right.
Yes, and let's go.
Exactly.
So, besides that, though, luckily it's got the 3x speed on it, and it has the auto, and I can skip text and pull up the log if I need to. If I skip something that was important, which I'm pretty good at telling if it's important or not, so a lot of skipping.
When the orchestral music comes in and there's only 2 characters on screen, that's usually the one you watch.
Yeah, it's like, oh, something happened.
Yeah.
So that's going fine. Still really liking the game besides the long-windedness of the dialogue for every character.
Yeah.
It's just a fun, stupid game to play. Yeah. Just don't come into this taking it seriously. It's really fun and lighthearted. It's getting a little serious. But
well, it's wrapping up about 12 games, so
yeah.
Yeah, also it's anime, so it has to start ridiculous and then get serious.
That's the weird thing, though, is that the rest of this series, it's not that there's like some tropes here and there, but it seems like the longer that this series has gone on, it's gotten more and more anime.
Right.
It's, whatever. It's fun. I can handle it still. There's a lot of anime like tropes where it's like, no, this needs to stop because it's stupid.
Right.
The rest of this is just like skin level stuff where it's like, okay, that was stupid, or okay, that was funny.
Yeah.
The last game that I played is going to be out of left field.
Okay.
And it's been a weird craving, I guess, that I've had for the longest time.
Halo?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you guys would ever guess what game this is.
Okay.
Dark Souls.
Oh, the first one?
I'm not surprised. You literally just finished playing Bloodborne.
Well, no. So I've been wanting to replay Dark Souls since I played and beat Code Vein. I don't know why. I don't especially like Dark Souls. That was why I started playing.
I beat everybody on Bloodborne, but I don't like Dark Souls.
Yeah. But that was the thing, though. It was just so from Code Vein, I went into Bloodborne because of like, all right, I got it for free from PlayStation Plus. It's like,
you already have it.
I'll play this. Let me see if it gets out of my system. I beat Bloodborne, and then it's like, okay, I still kind of want to play Dark Souls.
Mm.
I don't know why. It's just as much of a mystery as the rest of you guys. So, so I've gone through. I am ready to fight the gargoyles. I haven't done it yet. I don't even know necessarily what I'm prepping for. Like, I got the dragon sword from shooting the dragon tail 50 some odd times with an arrow. I've got a bunch of odds and ends stuff. I grabbed the master key to start my class with, so I have a bunch of stuff that I shouldn't have right now because I went to the catacombs and all that stuff that I didn't fight anything. I just ran through it because I knew where the items were and I knew what I wanted. Grabbed a bunch of stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do with any of it because I haven't necessarily spec'd out my class for anything in particular.
Right.
And that's kind of where I'm at with Dark Souls. It's just, I just got to go up and fight the gargoyles and then move on to the next bell.
Right.
Nothing's really... I think I got surprised once because I forgot where one enemy was hiding, and that kind of scared me at 2 o'clock in the morning.
A skeleton popped out of a barrel.
That's the time for it.
No, It wasn't a skeleton. It was a Dark Knight that I completely forgot about.
Oh, boy.
And it dropped down on top of me. That was fun.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, it's Dark Souls. Everyone's talked about it. It's road at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't died yet.
That's good.
Yeah. It's only because it's
Pro.
like the third time I've played it, so I got all my dying out the first time.
Right.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I don't know if I'll ever touch it again, but I started it again.
Yeah.
So see what happens.
Like me and like half of my library.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Destiny 2, just a short update here. It's the only other thing I've played. The new raid came out last weekend. So our team tried it this week on Friday. First off, when the first team beat it, it unlocked a whole buttload of stuff in the game, as I was expecting it to. A lot of that stuff is really cool. More and more stuff kind of keeps unfolding. We spent... So I gotta say, it's very nice raiding with a whole bunch of adults, because it's nice when someone... They have that, like, parent or adult worried voice where you're, like, in the middle of a boss fight and someone goes, I gotta go, and then, like, immediately mute and their character just stops moving. It's like, okay, we get it. We're gonna wipe. We're gonna wait for them to come back, and then we'll probably hear a pretty good story, and then we'll just try again. The new raid starts with not a sparrow race, but a sparrow event where you're in the middle of a freezing ice storm, and you're riding your sparrow from sort of these heat bubbles from one to the other. So it's a nice lighthearted way to start the raid where all of you are going to die probably about 15 to 20 times as you figure out the path. That was pretty fun. It's nice that it's not like, all right, here's the first boss. Like, you're really in it right away. We knocked out the first encounter a lot more easily than I thought we were going to. We picked up on it pretty quickly. It's a really, really cool fight where you're kind of passing buffs upstairs and downstairs between people that are doing a bunch of jobs and like sort of on two different sides of the upstairs. It's a really cool fight. We made it to the second encounter and we gave it a bunch of tries before we all got tired and called it a night. that one is wild because a whole bunch of people stay in the area where you start, and 3 other people shoot themselves into space to an orbital platform. And you do a bunch of stuff there with a boss that continually replicates itself. It is an incredibly complicated fight that I think by the time we quit, I think we were getting it down. And I'm very, very excited for us to try it again this week. It's nice to kind of have a new raid to do where none of us have done it before, so we're all kind of learning at the same time, and we're taking some of these strategies that other teams have figured out, but kind of changing them a little bit for how we need to do them and for how we communicate. It's turning out really well. So, not a lot otherwise than just a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, real quick before I wrap up our incredibly lengthy first segment here. There is one fun thing that the PS5 version does with the DualSense controller, and it is when you dive into water, the DualSense controller makes like a really bassy splash noise, like the splash you would hear underwater comes out of the speaker on the controller. It's like an incredibly minor thing, but it's kind of this fun thing where it's like you hear it coming from the TV and you hear it coming out of the controller at the same time. It's one of those things where it's like, it's not a system seller, but that was kind of fun. But yeah, that's all I've been playing this week. So let's take a break.
Yep.
All right.
I think what it is with Dark Souls is that I just want to play Demon Souls again.
Demon Souls is really good. That's the only one I've played, and I played a lot of it, and I was like, this is really good, and probably the last one I'm going to play.
You really don't have to play the other ones.
Yeah. And they're definitely not bad. I don't know if I can keep doing that like level of stress game over game.
It's not even stress so much as it's the annoying thing that you just can't pause the game.
Yeah.
Which I understand why you can't do it, but it's still annoying as hell when you have a real life and you've got,
right,
maybe an hour, but at the drop of a hat, one kid's trying to stick a fork in an outlet and the other one's trying to eat dog poop, and you're like, what?
Right. Right. Yes.
I see you smiling, Moon. That didn't happen with my kids. That was just an example. I did have to stop my daughter from trying to put a knife in the toaster and explain to her that, no, first you have to unplug the toaster, then you can put the knife in there.
Right.
Yep.
Which still got me yelled at by my wife.
Oh, dude, like I've got 3 cats. You don't have to tell me about distractions.
Yeah, jeez.
Always fighting.
Yeah.
All right, are you guys ready to knock out the rest of this? Since we're running along.
Yep.
That's what she said.
That's right. I'll wink.
Usually she says wrap it up at that point.
I got stuff to do. Let's finish this up. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of November 30th, 2020. Empire of Sin comes out on PC, OS X, Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. This is...
I know exactly what it is. It's the isometric RTS Mafia building game, I believe. Like
the John and Brenda Romero game. Yeah. Looks very good.
Also the best title ever for a game coming out in 2020.
Yes. Yeah. It looks very good. I'm very excited for this. I want to pick this up probably in the new year. I want to see sort of what it runs best on. But I've been looking forward to this for a while. It looks really great. Twin Mirror coming out of nowhere, coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Oh, this is Don't Nod as well.
This
is. I remember.
Don't Nod's like psychological thriller / horror thing.
Great.
Yeah.
I feel like they've released like 5 games this year, and it's like, oh right, and you're releasing another one here.
So is this episodic or is this all in one?
I do not believe it's episodic.
Okay, so there's 4 games I need to beat in 2 weeks.
No pressure.
Not at all.
Not at all. With Assassin's Creed Valhalla being huge.
Was this the one that you could flip worlds on it?
No,
that's the medium.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, by Bloober.
I don't know.
Bloober team. Next up, Worms Rumble. PC, PS4, and PS5.
How did Team 17 still exist at this point? I mean, don't get me wrong, they made great publishing decisions, which probably kept them alive.
Yeah, their publishing arm is what's keeping them alive. This game, however, I love the Worm series. I've been enjoying them since the very first one.
Fun fact about the Worms games. If you ever want to hear what a true Liverpool accent is like,
they're very good.
turn the Scouse accent on in Worms, and you will hear exactly what we sound like.
My first my first introduction to the Scouse accent is the original Worms. This is a 2D side-scrolling, non-destructible Worms game that's a battle royale.
Yay.
It looks so bad. It looks shockingly bad. I love you, Team 17. You've made some bad Worms games over the years. This looks really bad. This is like devoid of everything that makes me love that franchise.
I could be down for a Worms Battle Royale.
Sure.
But it needs to be destructible, because then literally within 4 seconds of the match starting, everyone's flying super sheep and the entire environment is destroyed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And only you and your ninja rope is keeping you out of the drink. Yeah, it's really weird. Next game, take a deep breath. Shiren the Wanderer, the Tower of Fortune, and the Dice of Fate comes out on PC and Switch. I can never remember if this is the brand new Shiren game or if it's a remake of like the Game Boy Advance one. Either way, it's a brand new Shiren the Wanderer game. If you want to play a traditional roguelike it's not super difficult, but you're gonna have to learn its rules. The Shiren games are really good. But
this was the remake that was on the Nintendo DS, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
And PlayStation Vita.
Oh, okay, so I think they're just bringing it, new coat of paint, and bringing it over to the Switch. Yeah. The Shiren games are really good, but like, you got to be willing to put in some time to. It's like the grid-based, turn-based, enemies move when you move, that whole thing. So, game that I'm very excited to see coming out, Immortals: Phoenix Rising, which is still just a bad title, comes out on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series X, and Stadia. I think this still looks really cool, and I feel like I could be in the mood for a game like this. But I'm waiting for reviews to see on like how big it is, how involved it is. Like, is it going to have the Assassin's Creed icon problem?
Yeah, dude, I'm looking at a trailer for it. This thing looks huge.
Yeah.
Like Breath of the Wild huge.
Ubisoft, maybe don't release 3 giant open world games in the same month. Can you spread them out a little bit, please?
Are they literally going for like one game for every generation that might live in a house?
Right,
For your old fogies like us, you've got your Assassin's Creed. For your young hipsters, you've got your Watch Dogs. And for your kids, you've got Immortals: Phoenix Rising.
That's right. God. Assassin's Creed is going to outlive us. I just know it. We're going to be in the old folks' home being like, oh, did you see what they did with Desmond? He's back again. Robo Desmond.
I was about to make a joke, which was a huge spoiler, so glad I caught myself there.
Appreciate it. Next game here, Dragon Quest XI S Definitive Edition comes out PC, PS4, and Xbox One. If you haven't played Dragon Quest XI, go do it. It's incredible.
Really good game.
If you've never played a JRPG
Game
before,
Pass as well, by the way.
If you've never played a JRPG before, this is a really good place to start. You do not need to care about any of the original ones. They don't matter. The tutorial is really good. It's super blue sky. It is also very long, so if you're going to get your money's worth. So.
You kind of restart at the end of the game.
Yeah, like not in a major way, but like you're going to do some of this stuff over again. Yeah. Only once. It's not, it's not...
There's enough of a story difference that it brings you along nicely.
Yeah. Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light comes out on the Switch. This is the remake of the very first Fire Emblem game. This game is not friendly. This game hates you, and it will punish you. So, this is not a sequel to Three Houses, so come in with the right expectations. Also, you can't buy this after March 31st, which still sucks. So, Nintendo, stop. And last but not least, John Wick Hex comes out on Switch, Xbox One, and PS4. This is the John Wick game that isn't at all what you expect it to be, and made by Mike Bithell.
It's like
the Thomas was alone guy.
Plan your strategy, like game where you have to pick your moves in advance.
Yeah, and your turn order, I guess you could say, is based on how much time it takes you to execute an action. So like it's really cool. It's one of those things where everyone's like, yeah, John Wick game, this is gonna be dope. It's like, no, the Thomas was alone guy made it, so it's gonna be different from when you expect.
It's not what you think it is.
Yeah,
this isn't Max Payne.
Right. That's what people were expecting, is like, yeah, a sequel to Stranglehold, and it's like, number one, weird. Number two, no. Because if someone wanted to make that, they would have made it already. But I'm excited to finally play this, because I have never had a chance to do so, and I think it looks pretty cool. And I like the games that guy makes. Solitaire Conspiracy, out now on Steam. Let's move on to news stories here. Obviously, it's the end of the year. Things are still super quiet. Phil Spencer had an interview with The Verge where he talked about the possibility of an Xbox app coming to TVs next year. He says, quote, I think you're going to see an Xbox app for smart TVs in the next 12 months. What you used to call a TV was a CRT that's just throwing an image on the back of a piece of glass I'm looking at. Now, as you said, a TV is more of a game console stuffed behind a screen, has an app platform, Bluetooth stack, streaming capability, end quote. I think we've talked about this for a while, that's you want to get as many places for you to play Game Pass as you possibly can. Like, there have been other streaming services that allow you to pair a controller with your TV. Like Samsung was doing one for a little bit. Gamefly had theirs, and it was very much like, yeah, you just have an app on your TV. Here, just pair a PS3 controller with it, and then kind of go. But that, of course, was much earlier days than Game Pass, which would be really interesting to see. Or sorry, xCloud. You don't. I don't think you want Game Pass on your TV where it's like, your TV is full because, oh boy, like Call of Duty got another patch, and your TV. Do you want to plug in an external hard drive to your TV? You can do that.
Dude, the mobile version of Call of Duty would probably fill up a TV.
It's true, but I think xCloud makes a lot of sense there if you're already into kind of streaming stuff on TVs, which most people are. I think if you can get an Xbox controller synced to your TV and just play stuff whenever you want, I think that seems like a really attractive proposition. Of course,
hopefully it still is, since Comcast decided to give the middle finger to everybody. So
I feel like that. I feel like those are all the caveats that continue to happen with this. Is that ISPs are garbage, and Comcast is especially garbage. So, yeah, I mean,
really off topic, yes, kind of, but really good luck for them right in the middle of a pandemic to be dropping this on everybody.
Yeah, a global pandemic. Yes, yeah, Good job, Comcast. Never letting us down. Let's go on to questions here. Angel Eye sent us a question in Discord. What games do you wish were backwards compatible or remastered that aren't already? For me, the Tony Hawk Underground series and American Wasteland. I like the Make Your Own Skater and the Career mode.
Okay, Thug is a good choice. And to be honest, let's face it, they've remade Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 and did a really good job of it.
Yeah.
The next logical step from there is not to make 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or any of the other ones. It's Thug. You make Thug 2, Thug and Thug 2.
Just get all the good ones out of the way and just kind of say, like, yeah, we're done.
Yeah, if they do a THPS Thug 1 and 2 like they did the originals,
that'd be great.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
As for games that were backwards compatible or remastered, that's easy. It's easy.
It's
It
easy.
is Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis.
Mm.
Give me those two series. Give me a full remaster of those. Give me a Resident Evil style remaster of those, and I would be happy as hell.
Can we talk about this for a moment? Square Enix just announced another remaster. They're doing a game I love dearly, Saga Frontier. It's not a great game. Square, what the hell are you doing? Why are you bringing like the Saga games that a lot of people aren't super interested in? Why aren't you bringing Final Fantasy Tactics to the Switch? Why aren't you bringing Parasite Eve 1 and 2, the only ones that were made, to something like Game Pass? Like, why aren't you bringing some of this stuff? Like, I really like seeing Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 being on Game Pass. Like, that's really great. But how about we do, like, the second tier of games that aren't Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy? Like,
But dude, I can play 13 Kingdom Hearts games on any platform I choose now.
heaven help us. Yes, you can. What? We've abandoned God. Yeah. I don't know.
There's actually one remake / remaster that I was made aware of again was 3D Dot Hero.
Yeah, we were talking about that in Discord this week.
Exactly. When we started talking about how big that sword could get, and I started pulling up
Yep.
screenshots, I'm like, oh crap, that's right. It does blow up the entire screen.
Yep, it's so good. That game was great.
Yeah.
It's going to sound weird, but when I got my PS5, I was really excited for a couple of backwards compatible games like Genshin Impact, Destiny 2, like some of the games that either had like large load times or they were sort of having performance issues. Moon will roll his eyes, but one of the games I was looking forward to the most was Dungeon of the Endless, a game that literally only I on the face of the earth like, because it is a roguelike tower defense punishing nightmare of a game that somehow clicked with me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to guess what
Listen to
doesn't
me
work
roguelike
on my
it.
PS5? Dungeon of the Endless gets to the point where you get to the main menu and it crashes.
Dude, I bet you it works on the Series X.
It sure does, but that's not where my save is. I don't want to go through all that again.
Dude, you honestly think that they're going to bring the save forwards?
Well, on my PS4 it does, yeah. But like,
Mm.
it's I don't expect it to go cross-platform, but someone else on Twitter got to the developers before me, literally one other person, and said like, "Hey, this thing doesn't work on PS5. Are you guys gonna patch it?" Silence. Not surprisingly, but real bummer. Maybe I'll just start it back over on Series X.
Unsurprised.
Yeah. Late Elf asks in Discord, question: what would you have American McGee do today if he got to choose his project? This being the mind behind Alice and Alice Madness Returns, games he made after working with id on Doom and Quake in the 90s. God, what would I have?
Keep going down with fairy tales. Screw it.
What, like
Yeah.
a Grimm's, American McGee's Grimm's?
That'd
Yeah.
be great, sure. What was the last thing he worked on?
Crowley worked on Cube with Molyneux or something. I don't know.
It was like if I remember correctly, the last thing he worked on was problematic. Oh, look at here's
Was it
American.
Cube with Peter Molyneux?
Got it. I totally forgot about that. Let's keep tapping until you get right in there. That's right. Spicy Horse was the company. Spicy Pony. Jesus Christ. Worked for Game Tap. Yeah, I'll have to see here. What would I have him work on? He's working on another Alice game. I guess that makes sense. I feel like I've never really understood what American McGee's strength was, other than having a fun name.
Is it a fun name, but also is it the fact that he's basically the Tim Burton of video games, where he just twists things slightly?
Sure.
I assumed that's what it was because I'd never heard of the guy until those games came out, the Alice in Wonderland ones.
Yeah.
And those are, as far as I know, the only ones of his that I've played.
Yeah, because he did a bunch of production and level design on a bunch of id games, going all the way back to Doom and Doom 2. But yeah, he's like creative director on a bunch of... Oh, yeah, American McGee Presents Bad Day LA, which was sort of had some problematic stuff. Like being called a bad Postal clone, which
Oh,
has a lot of layers to that. I don't know. I feel like I would almost want him to work on maybe like if they make a Psychonauts 3, like let him loose on one of the inside the brain worlds on there. It's like what can you make in a game that feels like it's sort of part of your thing, your thing. Best style.
I was gonna say, if Kingdom Hearts ever goes further down the rabbit hole, just have him do one of those levels.
That's right. Here you go, man. Just get real weird with it. Here's Unreal Engine 4. Go nuts. We have broken publishing ties with American McGee. Stuff was just too weird. Yeah, otherwise I feel like I don't really know. Maybe like I feel like we're starting to see some spiritual successors to Quake 3 pop up. I feel like maybe you get that guy to do some level design on some of those, do some like real old school fast action first person shooter levels on that. Like return to his bread and butter.
yeah.
Other than that, like I don't know. Well, what does this guy do at work all day? I don't know. He's got a fun name.
Thinks I'm American McGee. Thanks
right.
to my name, I have millions of dollars.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, I think that's our episode for this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. You can visit us at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us on the right-hand side of the page, patreon.com/E1M1. Get all the cool stuff. Help me pay for the show. Scare me with some scary video games. Everybody wins. Game Club is taking a break for December, so we'll be back in January. There'll be a special episode releasing the third or Monday, near the end of around Christmas time. We Roguelike It is chugging right along. We just finished up our most recent game, and we'll have a little special treat here to wrap out the end of the year. That will patrons will hear this week, and everyone else will hear in a couple of weeks. And Critical Misses continues to be really great. I think season 2 is starting here on the public feed, so go check out some more heists. This time without 4 wheels. This time you just got a lot of eating food in Vegas. I think that's it. So we'll see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.
That sounded like a muffler. Dude,
if your muffler sounds like that, then you maybe get it seen too.
You try driving 80s vehicles for most of your teenage years.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Nimp, give me your titles.
I've got 4 titles.
I only have 1.
Because I hit my 4th, and that was like the pinnacle for me.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
So my 4 titles are Turtles All the Way Down.
Uh-huh.
As
10
much
days
as I
to-
love that has to be vetoed because we can't make a Discworld reference in the title.
It breaks the podcasting rules.
10 Days to Season Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Too Fast to Vikinger. Or Too Fast to Vikinger.
Yep.
And Smack My Bishop.
It's very funny.
Is that going to get vetoed, Boston?
I'm chewing on it.
Okay, so
Like I
let's
said,
face it. That's
whether
the
it
winner.
was gonna get vetoed anyway, I was like, that's it. I can't come up with anything else listening to anybody.
All right, Mo, what do you have?
Okay, so I'm just going to highlight that right now because let's face it, that's the winner.
Yep.
Unless it gets vetoed, in which case we have to pick something else. It's a Journey, made by the Res guy, 4 keys, Seahenge, Too Fast, Too Vikinger. The fan base is wrong. Take your pick on that one, folks. What a Trash Fire, and that branch of anime.
That branch of anime. So I'm gonna put a check mark next to Smack My Bishop.
It's so easy to make that mistake, by the way, because every time you say it, I hear the actual song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally listening to that as soon as the show's done, by the way.
Yes.
How much you want to bet we can find a Smack My Bishop parody online?
Probably.
What was Weird Al doing in the late 90s?
Yeah. Does this mean anything else?
Well, it's very anti-church.
Mm-hmm. It's also a little close to something else.
That's why I enjoy it.
Not show appropriate.
Oh,
yeah. You're talking about replace the word smack with the word with a striking word beginning with the letter B.
Yes.
Or pitch.
It's pretty close to.
Or ditch.
It's pretty close to that.
Oh, apparently there's a book that you can get on Amazon called Smack My Bishop.
Is it adult?
Music for what is music for a French elevator and other oddities by the books.
What the hell?
You like immediately
Amazon.
hit an internet hole that is terrifying.
There's a sample song to it too.
Well, we don't want to get DMCA, that's for sure.
I'll listen to that when we're done.
Well, is he gonna listen to Prodigy or just gonna listen to chamber music over there?
We are officially off the rails.
Yep.
I can't find anything. There's a couple songs here and there, and whatever that weird thing is that I found on Amazon, but besides the obvious, there doesn't seem to be anything else linked to it.
I feel like the only other option would be Too Fast, Too Vikinger, but it's not super strong.
Nothing is as good as Smack My Bishop. I'm very carefully enunciating my P's
Bishop.
here.
I'm just not even going to say it.
Like, nothing is as strong as that, but that's like literally 2 steps from the wrong direction in like several different ways.
Yeah.
Like, this is a you call, Boston. Like, 100% this is on you. If this gets vetoed or not.
And I'm like, right on the line of both. Number 1, it's very funny. Number 2, it's a very funny joke. Number 3, my dinner is almost here and I'm very hungry.
Like, because it's a great reference, it's a great song, but also I didn't even make the Bishop reference until you literally mentioned it out loud, Boston.
And honestly, it didn't even occur to me, almost used the wrong word there, until I said it out loud here, and I was just like, oh, that sounds a lot like...
Because the only problem is in context, you're only going to think about the song. Out of context, there's only one other thing you're thinking about.
And, like, that's my big concern is, like, show titles can be...
Construed out of context very easily.
Yeah, and it's like, that's such a powerful tool for, no pun intended, for the show and for, like, drawing people in, but...
If we choose that, do we get great SEO, but then a bunch of 1-star reviews because we're not talking about adult content?
Yeah, and also, like, do I want to... Usually this is the sort of stuff we talk about with the patrons, where we talk about, like, the ethos behind the show. Is that the sort of first impression that we potentially want to make for the show overall?
Yeah, but come on, dude. We haven't literally, we haven't made a joke along those lines ever in a show title, I don't think.
That's fair.
So it's not exactly like you can sit there and say, well, all of your show titles are all these filthy in jokes, but
yeah, like they're all innuendo jokes. Yeah.
yeah, like it's almost never an innuendo. I can't think of the last time we had an innuendo as a show title.
Well, I think you sold me then. Let's do it.
So all I can say is that you guys know how much I love just kissing that gray line of Vita.
Yep.
It's almost like you've got both tires off the track, but the curve of it is just over the white line, so you get away.
I'm not getting that black-white flag yet, so
that's right. Sports.
That was a Formula One reference. As Boston said.
All right. Well, you guys sold me. I circled it. Let me know when you guys are ready.
You sold yourself.
yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night.
Blame it on Moon. That's how I sleep soundly.
Really? Don't blame it on the weatherman. Blame it on
when the FCC comes for me, I'll be like, "Look, this English guy with their loose rules crossed the pond."
Dude, you can't be saying that because then you're going to follow up English guy with English guy who lives in America to a government agency.
That's
You
right.
can't do that.
We have all these previous clips from the show of things that he said.
I love murder.
Never mind the American that said way worse.
Yeah,
Come on, dude. You know that's not how it works.
that's right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I've
After
got
all
something
this
for
hype,
it's
though,
hot
I'm gonna-
garbage.
I was gonna say, after all this hype, I'm gonna have something really lame. So
Oh,
Okay.
mine is 1,000% garbage. I'm fine with that.
I like it. I appreciate it. All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 684 for November 30th, 2020. Smack My Bishop.
Only strike diagonally.
Bishop to D3.
I wasn't expecting you guys to go to chess. I like it. This is why I like this show. You guys think out of the box.
Yeah, well, we kind of had to because you couldn't exactly go the other direction and think
No, we
outside
did
of the
not.
box.
I
Because the
appreciate
box
that.
in this question is a poorly timed innuendo.
And then just cut all that audio out. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us for nearly 2 hours. Super appreciate it. We'll see you late next week because we will be doing some holiday recording before that.
Yeah,
see
talking
then.
about hanging out for 2 hours.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. All right. Bye.
So yeah.